G'day guys, this is Sam from Melbourne. I'm here to do a quick update, maybe not a quick update, maybe a 10-minute update on Bitcoin. Just give the background to what's going on, what's taken place, and where we think, where we're potentially heading to. And it's not an easy one to figure out. Everyone has an opinion, and this is my opinion so far. And then I'll look for confirmation as time goes by. You can see my chart over here. Um, let's go back one. You can see how I put the fib channel or the fib level, um, and and I believe this explains why we had so much resistance as a 1.618 level. That's given us that major resistance. Now, what I have an issue is um, previous all-time highs, all-time blow-off tops before the bear market is usually spectacular, parabolic moves to the upside, very volatile, and then down. Similar to this one as well. I remember going through both of these, this one more recently in 2019, and I quite remember what the feeling was before we had a wick to the downside. And to me, these are blow off tops, and this wasn't. So that gives me a feeling that we're not done yet in this bull market. That's one main reason. Okay, I could be wrong, but I do believe this was also at some stage kept up artificially, and I'll explain why. There's a few people that think the same, and I can go into it. But um, so that is my thoughts on the macro level. Um, why I don't think this is the end of the bull market. Okay, and I'll go into more why what took place and what should have taken place and what didn't. Now, what has taken place? Let's look closely. Just to answer some quick questions. Why did we stop where we stopped? Um, I do believe we did a head and shoulders, and if I measure this, the head to the neckline, it pretty much equals the target. So to me, that is confirmation, and that's why we found support there. And as I was doing live stream yesterday, I did buy in here. It was a good buying opportunity, and I made the right choice. I did also mention yesterday that with these fib levels, it's likely that the 0.5 would be the major resistance. And when I woke up this morning, it was the case. It did bounce off that. So price bounced, found resistance, and then went back down again. I did have an expectation that it was one of these two. Okay, I would have thought we were very lucky to get to this level here, to the neckline. So now that we hit this first resistance, which was about 42k. Let me just undo that for a sec. So we had the bounce, and then we hit this key level of resistance prior, and so this is a key level, and I had this for some time. I did actually think that when we were coming down, that this will be support and go up, and that equated to 21 weekly moving average, and not to be it. So I did have my secondary level at the 38k, and that's when I started buying. I've leveled in, and unfortunately, it dropped much more. But this was compensated with my buying at that level. So I did buy a fair bit of Bitcoin there, as well as high leverage, and I've already closed those trades. Now, this level is significant because on the way up, it played a significant level, and therefore we did find resistance here. And similarly, as price came down, we found a lot of support here, and coincidentally, the head and shoulders equates to this level as well. So there's a lot of confluence with support in this area and a good bounce. And this magnitude, pretty much in my mind, this was helped to be perpetuated further down. If you look at the FUD that came out prior to this big drop, the media was putting stuff out there. So it was putting people's minds at fear. and negativity, and I think that they artificially made this go down all the way. That is my perception, and I did think that they might stop here, but they pushed it further down. That's why I had this level as a level of significance to buy in. Once this, I had this range basically from 38k to 34k as a level to buy in, but or level in. And when I noticed the speed of it dropping, I actually took a short from there to there. So I took my chances, and I was lucky for that as well. So there's a lot of ways to approach trading, and the best way is to have a plan and then react to that plan. So keep that in mind. If you have no plan, you don't take advantage of the scenario. So now we in this range, I do expect a number of things. First, this is a correction wave, and it's a nasty one. But also, I think this is the range. We're going to be in this range for the coming week, and I do expect a sort of formation, maybe like this, building up to break this level here. Okay, I don't see this going down anytime soon. It could be something like this down here with the COVID event. It could be something where we have a significant dive, and then momentum just goes up, or we can have this scenario where we go sideways and we bring up momentum. There's many scenarios, but in this range, we're gonna see price moving around here, and look for a reversal pattern and potentially a continuation if this is not broken anytime soon. And then if there is a macro reversal pattern, then all the better. But I do think we should see it within the 2 weeks. The reason why I say in the 2 weeks is the monthly candle. It's got to be significant to change the momentum of the monthly candle. If the monthly candle looks bearish, then it's likely to go down further and revisit, in my mind, either this level or that level. So it could come down here first and then potentially down there to all-time high. And 618 is what I'm thinking of. Now, let me clear all that and let's look at some details. These details are basically fundamentals. So let's look at this one. Where are we? Correction waves. So we had a correction wave, and I thought it was going to be a smaller correction wave, a moderate one, which was pretty much to this effect. A, B, actually, hold on. We can't see that, so let me do something better than that. This might be the right one. That was our A, that was our B, and that was our C. I actually thought that was the case, and then weekly 21 moving average, we're going to go back up along those lines or something like that. So that's what I was imagining, the correction wave. So now this is the correction wave. Either it's going to be this one, along those lines, which is a double bottom, or we're going to have a much deeper correction wave coming down to the all-time high of 2017 and finding support. Obviously not a straight line, but taking a long time. I think this will take place if the stock market keeps dropping. I think I'm leaning towards this one here at the moment, this correction wave, or up to this point here. Okay, so I do have a feeling that once we hit our target, either this or this fib level, somewhere around there, we get a pullback, and then we do the W bullish formation for continuation pattern. And if that's not the case, then Bitcoin's formula is well known for triangles of some sort. It could be Whatever the scenario is, it could be a symmetrical triangle, it could be an ascending triangle, it could be many reversal patterns. And at the moment, I do see Bitcoin spending a bit of time between this level and this level here, trying to figure itself out. Maybe a reversal pattern of that nature, where we knock on this door and then move up to the next level. So I am bullish at this point until something else shows me different. Now, that's what I'm seeing, and that's what I'm envisioning. This is a worst case scenario, this correction wave, where we hit our target and then we go down deeper. And that this one will depend on the stock market and all the rest of the world, what they're doing. The reason, as I said, I think it's a continuation pattern is this. Let's look closer now. I'll just move this out the way. Just clean up this a bit. Now let's get rid of this structure. Let's put this across. So we had an ascending wedge, and this ascending wedge, in some ways, is a bit of artificial. That, to me, that was a fake out. This one was also a fake out, and the evidence is pretty much clear to me based on this scenario, what took place here, because it doesn't reflect as close as possible what should have taken place. The fact that we stayed here for a while trying to knock on that door doesn't make sense. I think what they did is they artificially kept it up, and yep, you might say that's another wedge. And yeah, I just think that yeah, leave it at that. So I'm not going to continue on that one. But I do think these were artificially propped it up. The reason being is when we have momentum coming, yep, we get a pullback, and I think this one was the one that we should have been the last. And the reason why I say that is it is the golden ratio number, really, 61,800 all-time high. And to me, that makes sense. And that equates to my 1.618 extension. So this next rally, yeah, it did fall slightly short, but this one, I just can't see why it happened. I really don't. I can't see how that took place, and I think this was propped it up to get some liquidation, for them to keep slowly selling off their coins for the big move. So they get rid of them up here, and then buy them up cheap here. So this was some manipulation, in my opinion. And so this type of a reversal should have been a bit more earlier, and that's why, yeah, right here, this should have taken place here. This one should have taken place, in my opinion. So that's what I have in mind, and the 61,800 was, to me, a realistic rejection, because that's perfectly on the golden ratio. So that was a good sell-off point. I do understand another attempt to get that. This one here, I don't think it fits the Wyckoff distribution model as well. That we have another attempt. Anyway, so that's my thinking there, and it doesn't reflect previous all-time highs with a blow-off tops, with pretty much really steep acceleration parabolic moves for the blow-off and down here as well. So this one is more lethargic, and that's why we capitulated significantly, because the way it was kept up. It doesn't matter what I think at the end of the day. What we can confirm is it matches the Head and Shoulders target. Now moving forward, you can see a few levels of resistance or support. So if we bring that across, where is this? Bring this back where I'm thinking. Price. So we have a number of levels that are potentially playing a role. Give us a sec. If I can pick the one. Okay. So that is the main resistance. This layer is the main layer of resistance, and we've seen price coming back up. And I do see a bit of a struggle to pass that. And like I said, if we struggle to pass this, we'll see price ranging around here, and each dip being bought up until we continue to get higher lows, and then eventually break this level similar to this of some nature, and then once we find support here, and continue on, this move has pretty much liquidated a lot of retail investors, and they've picked up all those ones with weak hands, and in my mind, this is going to go to the upside, very similar to this. Whenever there's something significantly pulling down, and I suppose excessive or extensive dumping, um, you'll see that there's a big volume coming in place. So let's have a look at the volume while we're here. Now, that volume is pretty high in selling, so that is a significant level. And the only time that anything that was bigger was this rally up to a level. Yep. And you can see this one, the COVID was much more higher, the volume. So it's not going to equate to that, but this volume is significant. And then we see this. So right here, I thought that would have been the case where we dropped down, where the volume was really. So you can see where we should have gone down, not up, because the volume was very low. Now I can't understand why it's gone up. Anyway, that is my business case, and moving forward, uh, if we lose this level, then we potentially, I think, we will go all the way down to this level here, and that'll be a real delay. And how it fits into the rest of it fits in. If that's the case, it fits in. This is just a big blow off top, but I just don't. I like to see something. This is what looks like a blow off top, end of a bull cycle. This doesn't. Okay. So that's a wrap up. Thanks for listening, and all the best.